Hello and welcome to my first video, where I want to share Algerian history and culture. I think we have a lack of Algerian English-speaking content in various fields, including history, which I will mostly be translating Algerian Arabic content, plus doing my own research. I'll leave the link of those original creators in the description box below, so feel free to check their channels and encourage them for their amazing work. Irish people are still singing their famous song, The Sack of Baltimore, in which they say in a verse, the Algerian is Lord of Baltimore, or a Master of Baltimore. Let's see the history of this poem that is still sung as folklore in Ireland.
This was an early morning in 1631. The men were wrangling pilchards south of Kedge.
It inspired many famous poets and artists in their artistic and drama-related works. This story happened in 1631, where the Algerian navy had full control over the Mediterranean Sea, and it was the greatest force of the region at the time. Ships from Europe and America had to pay tributes and taxes to each passage on the sea. In that period, the brave sailor Murad Rais al-Asghar, after all the shores of the Mediterranean Sea, from Greece, Italy, Spain, France, has surrendered to him, he decided to break the thorn of Britain that had just started to show its muscle on the sea, and presented its military navy as an unbreakable power in the Pacific Ocean. Therefore, Murad Rais decided to spread his operations and invade Britain, Ireland, and Iceland. And indeed, he prepared a group of Algerian sailors and went ahead with just 2 big boats, heading towards Ireland. When he crossed the Spanish and Portuguese shores towards the north, he got closer to the British islands. He found a British warship on his way, and he forced them to surrender, captured all of its crew, and took it with him towards Ireland. And on the day of June 20th, 1631, a bit after midnight, he arrived at the shore of an Irish town in the south named Baltimore. He and his crew got off their ships and started storming castles and fortresses. They captured hundreds of Irish and British. And by the way, British were new colonizers of Ireland. They weren't really naturally in that land. After the sunrise, Algerians had already completed their mission. They tied 200 Irish and British people and put them on their ships and went back to Algeria with the British ship that they had seized on their way to Ireland. They didn't leave behind anyone except few who fled to remote villages and 2 dead soldiers who resisted and didn't want to surrender, unfortunately. This operation led by Murad Rais embarrassed Britain a lot, and both politically and militarily. And because of this, the British consul in Algiers had to implore the Bey to return the prisoners and to not sell them as slaves, but he wasn't successful and they were sold, and only 2 of them fled and were able to return to Ireland. This swift attack shocked Irish people and led them to write tragic poems related to this story, and it's still embedded in their mind up to this day. In 18th century, an Irish man opened a pub in Baltimore and named it the Algiers Inn, and changed it later to a hotel still with the same name. To perpetuate that event that, according to Irish people, should not be forgotten, a century after, other poets wrote literature works about that raid, The Sack of Baltimore, and in recent years, the event came back to surface through sad compositions by Irish singers that you can find on YouTube. They built a statue of Murat Reis with the Algerian naval clothes and put him in a museum. In Algeria, 1793, Hassan Pasha, the ruler, named a well after Murat Reis. And today the place is an administrative district with the same name, Bir Murat Reis, meaning the well of Murat Reis. This story is somehow odd and is hidden away, but when you look at it, you can find lots of works on it in English. I hope this was an addition to your historical knowledge, and see you in another video.